Adjusting to a new normal is usually not fun. It's not something that we want to do. It typically means that we're in a position we don't want to be in, we did not see coming. We might not have had anything to do with it being here, but it's here and it's what we are now. And we just have to adjust to it. Life has made a detour, it's turned around, it's changed. You might be in that position. You might not be where you want to be right now through no fault of your own, but we just have to adjust to it. My friend, her husband loves chocolate brownies with walnuts. That's all he likes. That's what he wants. It best invention ever, chocolate brownies with walnuts. It would not matter if you told him there is a new dessert. There is a new way to make brownies. Someone has made this huge innovation to brownies, and you will absolutely love this one. If you love chocolate brownies with walnuts, you are going to go ape over this new brownie that some genius invented. He would be like, no, that's okay. Thanks anyway, but I like chocolate brownies with walnuts, not interested in anything new. Well, that's how I was when I lost my husband, and I still can't see anything different. It's like, I don't want a new normal. I had people tell me, the Lord has wonderful things in store for you. He could bring you a new husband. Blessings upon blessings, and he will give you the desires of your heart. That's what's in the Bible. And he has something better for you, Teresa. Something new, something better, just wonderful. Well, the desire of my heart was to have my husband back. So it's still really hard for me to, like my friend's husband who loves chocolate brownies with walnuts, it doesn't matter. But we have to accept our new normal. We have to figure out a way to move forward. I wanted to post a little bit about grief. So many of us are early on our journey. I know people who are 20 years into a journey of grief. And it might not just be grief that has forced you into a new normal. It could be health conditions. Maybe you could hike, you could walk the dog, you could go whitewater rafting, just, really physically active. And now it is a struggle to get out of bed. And you're not going to go whitewater rafting again. You're not going to go back to hiking and camping and whatever, all those outdoor activities that you used to love. When we were on vacation years ago in Punta Cana, we went out to a reef, and we had an activity day, and kayaking. I always wanted to go kayaking. Well, it's different kayaking in the ocean, but it was great. I loved it. I did it like 3 times. It was so fun. But you had to get down on the dock and slide over into the kayak. Kayaks are low. Yeah. Well, my husband could not. He could not physically get down. He had busted up knees, and he could not get down onto the dock, sitting and then sliding over into the kayak. So I had to go by myself. Well, without a guy's upper body strength in that kayak, I was all over the place. It was terrible. There was another lady that was kind of in my position, and she was by herself. Most of the women were in kayaks, and there was a dude in the back, and she was paddling, whatever. But he was doing the work. He had those guy muscles, and he was just moving that thing, and they were just going. Yeah. By the time we got around, they had a shark enclosure, and by the time we got around that shark enclosure, I was way, way, way in the back. And there's a current, and the current was driving me up against this enclosure, just bouncing me off this enclosure. And the guide, he's way in the front and he's yelling, "Lady, hey lady, hurry, come on." I'm like, I'm doing the best I can. These little skinny girl arms. Anyway, but that was my husband's new normal, was not getting to kayak. My new normal was kayaking by myself and being the one way in the back while all the others are just skating around that enclosure. And here comes Teresa. I'm coming. Be patient with me. That was my new normal. It was a really fun day, but not every new normal is, it's okay. It was fine. I still did it. I wanted to do it, and I just did it without my husband. Well, now, the new normal where I am now, it's not as fun. It's not something that I can laugh about years later. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to just cover a little bit on grief. And if you are just starting your grief journey, and if you're not, please leave a comment below if you have any advice or concerns or encouragement that you want to offer someone else who's viewing, or if you have your own questions, and let us know where you are in your journey. But grief is the price you pay for loving somebody. And the more you love, the more you're going to grieve. And the harder and the heavier that grief is going to be for you to carry. There are, I want to cover 4 impacts of grief today. And the first is emotionally. And the emotional impact of grief is probably, especially in the beginning, the most profound. I remember standing in church. Church that first year was so hard for me, especially praise and worship in the beginning of a service. I always just hung out in the back. I didn't even come out until most of that was over, because I would stand there during that, and it was all, I felt like I was just going to shatter into a million pieces. All I did was focus on holding myself together. Nothing else. I just couldn't. I just felt like I was just a glass ball ready to shatter all over that sanctuary. And so mostly I avoided going in there. It was just so hard. Your emotions are just so raw and right there on the surface. It's just a terrible place to be. But one of the myths of that is it's never going to get better. I'm always going to hurt this badly. There's no time frame for it. That's what I wanted. I wanted someone to tell me, if you can survive the first 3 months, the first 90 days, the first 6 months, the first year, if you can survive that, just hold on, Teresa. Just keep it together. Just stand there and put that kind of a fake smile on your face. Everybody knows that you don't feel like smiling, but keep that on your face and just don't shatter. You'll be okay. There is no time frame. I wanted a 12-step process. I'm goal-oriented, so you give me the 12 steps. Teresa, if you do this, here's what you do, and you'll be fine. You'll get through it. Well, I learned really early on there is no 12-step process. But emotionally, you're just so raw, so fragile. Time is your friend. Getting into the Word. I read, my husband passed away in January, and the church is always, you know how churches do, you typically at the first of the year, they'll give you a reading program. You know, you read through the Bible in a year and you're all reading together as you go through the Bible. Well, of course we did that. And I tried for the first day or two And we were probably in Genesis, or I don't know how it worked. But anyway, it only took a day or two. No, I can't do this. I went to the Psalms and I just read the Psalms. That's what I read for the first, I don't know how long. And I remember it didn't help for a long time, or it didn't seem to, but it does help. Just like when you're taking medicine, when you're sick and the doctor prescribes medicine, you take that first pill, you don't, oh, I'm cured. I feel great. I feel strong. I'm not sick anymore. I don't feel like I'm going to throw up. No, medicine does not work that way. And for me, reading the scripture, prayer, meditation, it did not work for me that way. But over time, reading, prayer, meditation, sobbing, crying to the Lord, and journaling, it did help over time. I haven't really went back through my old journal entries from back then. I journaled every day. I've read a few, but not very much, because it's just, yeah, it's not good. So anyway, I'm still not ready to read those early prompts or journal entries. Mentally, I had never heard of the phrase widow brain until, yeah, there was a reason. It is a real thing. A lady said that she had lost her dad, and she was in that state, and she pulled up to the gas pumps. She pumped her gas, gets back in the car, and drives away. And she still had the pump in her car, and she drove off. Of course, it only took a second. And so that just caused all kinds of damage. She gets out of the car, and there's a man there at another pump, and he's just mocking her, telling her how stupid she was. And what were you doing? What were you thinking? Why did you drive away with the gas pump still in your car? So you might be in that stage, or you might remember things like that you did. But your brain, it is a real thing, the mental fog. So give yourself a break. Don't be hard on yourself. If something like that happens, or you lose things, you forget what you're doing. And I know we forget what we're doing anyway a lot of times. But when you forget what you're doing, when you walk into the room and you forget why you're there, you forget, why did I even get up this morning? What am I supposed to be doing? Give yourself a break. Show yourself grace. Physically, I had no energy. I am always a person of energy. I always am energetic. I just hop out of bed in the morning. I do not drink coffee. I just get up and go. And I had to drag myself out of bed, tired, just not, I just didn't feel like doing anything. But make sure you're eating, drinking plenty of water. Limit your alcohol. If you do drink alcohol, limit that. Try to limit caffeine. Just drink plenty of water, and get your rest. Your body, I slept so much, and I'm not a big napper. I mean, I do love a Sunday afternoon nap. Who doesn't? But get some sleep, get some rest. If you want to take a nap, take a nap. A lot of my naps were because I wanted to be gone from this world. My consciousness didn't want it. I wanted to be asleep, because sleep was a break. At least if I'm sleeping, I'm not crying and sobbing and asking questions and wondering and beating myself up about everything I ever said and did wrong, and replaying every stupid argument we ever had. That's what I did when I was awake. Oh, why wasn't I a better wife? I was terrible. Just all that stuff. You just torture yourself. And if it's a parent, or if you're the parent, why didn't I do better? Why wasn't I a better sister? My sister passed away in 2019, and that's what I tortured myself with that. She was only 52. And I wished I could have went back and just loved on her more, told her how much she was my very first best friend. We were close in age. We were about 16, 17 months apart. And she was just my best friend. And I wish I would have told her more, showed her that, expressed that to her. We just torture ourselves. So stop beating yourself up. Do not be so hard on yourself. And the last impact of grief, where you really feel it, is socially. I totally isolated myself. I didn't want to go out to lunch. I didn't want to do anything. My nephew, who was wonderful, and he did a lot of stuff for me there in the beginning, and his daughter was getting married in that May, so like 4 months later. And him and his wife, they were just wonderful to me, just beautiful. I just so appreciate that relationship. And they invited me to that wedding, and I was ready. I was excited. I was looking forward to it because they were so wonderful. And I knew it was going to be a nice evening, a really pretty wedding, and I wanted to get out. I wanted to dress up. And within about a week before, I knew, yeah, I'm not going to that wedding. There's no way I could have done it. Yeah, so I did not go. I don't regret that because I just couldn't have. But you kind of, or for me, I isolated myself. I did not want to connect with friends. I had so many friends and another sister, one sister, and she still does to this day. So wonderful. And she has a YouTube channel, so check her out. Um, but anyway, she just sends me cards and phone calls, but especially the cards and little gifts. She still does that, still sends me that. And it's so sweet. My other sister called me a couple times a day just to check on me, just to see how I was doing. I had a friend that did the exact same thing every morning. So, um, you're probably not going to feel like it as you adjust to this new normal. Coming home from church on Sundays was the hardest thing. Riding in the car by myself. You know how it is when you get older? When you're younger, your husband usually drives, typically. The husband drives everywhere you go. The man drives, and that's great. I love it. But as we got older, I tended to do more of the driving. He had had shoulder surgery at one time, so we just got in the habit of me doing it. And driving home in a car by yourself. Oh, that was so terrible. That's so hard. But uh, so socially, the social impact is really, really rough. But stay involved with people. Let people comfort you. And this does not have to be grief over the loss of a loved one. It could be any new normal that you have to adapt and adjust to. Let people help you. Let your friends accept their invitations. Maybe you can't do a wedding, but if you get invited to a barbecue, or they just want to come over and hang out for an hour, and maybe you're thinking, I'd rather go take a nap because that's how I find comfort, let them come over. I completely isolated myself. I realize now that was not a good idea. I mean, I spent enough time by myself. I didn't even have to add more time to that. So there are things to lessen the impact of grief. You're going to have it, whatever your grief is, whatever you're grieving, whatever new normal you have to adjust to. Be prepared for how it impacts you. And you can journal on this. You can talk to a friend about it. How does adjusting to this new normal in your life affect you emotionally, mentally, physically, and socially? Talk to someone about it, journal about it, pray about it, meditate about it, and it does make it easier to get through. It's not going to end. There's no 12-step plan. There's no, well, if you do this, everything's going to be sunshine and roses. No, that's not going to happen. You've still got to adjust to it. But understanding how it impacts you in those 4 categories will really help. And post below what you are getting used to, what you are dealing with, and or what you've gotten through and what helped you get through. I would love to build a community here and help each other. Yeah, this journey, I don't know, well, it's never going to end. Grief, it's not going to end this side of glory. But we can survive it, we can navigate it, adjust to it, and bless others and let others bless us. Have a beautiful week. It's getting warmer here in the Midwest. It's supposed to be gorgeous in the 70s. Ah, in the 70s. I'm so excited. I'm going to get outside. Well, maybe. Oh, I am going to get outside. I was going to say I'm going to get outside and do some yard work. Yeah, who knows if that'll happen. Whatever. That's another thing. I don't care about spending time doing things that, I used to worry about or think about or spend a lot of my time. Yeah, it's like, whatever. Yeah, I don't have beautiful flower beds. I do not have landscaping like a lot of my neighbors. I just don't. Whatever. Heaven's going to be beautiful, so I'll enjoy it up there. But I just pray that you have a beautiful week. Take care of yourself. Stay strong, stay hydrated, and we will talk soon.